Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, hoodlers, shield, just like search peasants, vassals, YouTube pundits. I'm a useful idiot and a YouTube pundit, and I'm going to do something a little different today, and I'm going to bitch about another YouTube pundit, and that would be Cgreene. Because frankly, when I watch Cgreene, I see red, and I'll tell you why. Because I remember when Cgreene first started, quite some time ago, and he was very restrained, very logical, and he commented a lot about economics and the banking industry. And that's also a key component of why I have bad feelings about Cgreene. Because here's a very young man, and he made claims early on in his videos that he did quite well on Wall Street, and certainly appears to be independently wealthy. So another thing that kind of disqualifies him portraying himself as everyman. And he slowly built his media empire. His graphics got slicker, and he started the Cgreene wave. And then he started fooling around with his set. For a while, he was in front of his computer, and then he was in his radio station set up with his microphone, and of course has his radio network just like a lot of the other pundits, and so they can cross-reference their videos and their radio shows, and just continue through an endless series of rants. And truly, he is a ranter, because he has gone far, far beyond what he originally started out as, and now is full of rhetoric and extremism and fear-mongering, the likes that we're used to from Fox News. And this is an important aspect of this industry for me, because it's people like Cgreene that give the liberty movement a bad name. It gives the liberty movement a bad name. It gives people who are interested in challenging the state a bad name. It gives people who are interested in real issues a bad name. Because now, like so many other pundits, he has his daily, endless mantras about World War III, the collapse, and the incessant Obama bashing that works as a hillbilly bug light. And that's when all the neocons come out, especially the ones who are uneducated, and come out and just have a troll fest, bashing Obama, talking about how we're going to have Sharia law in the United States, talking about how Obama's going to unleash an army of blacks who are going to kill white Christians across America, and that World War III is going to start with a nuclear holocaust started by a Muslim in the White House, and all that kind of crazy stuff. And one of the things that makes Cgreene so despicable is the fact that he's a very smart man, and he knows all this, and he's using this crowd of uneducated people as useful idiots. And he's using them. He is using them. So now he's got a vast empire. He has a huge amount of subscribers. He gets a huge amount of views per video. And it's just this incessant mantra. In fact, I would suspect that he is actually making a living off of his channel now with the amount of views he gets. And of course, he allows advertising, and he also panders for donations for his efforts. Because you don't have to, as I said in my YouTube megalomaniac video, you don't have to fight the man. You can pay Cgreene to fight the man for you. And it appears that some of that money is going towards stimulants and other pharmaceuticals, because he does seem a little edgy and out of control on his recent videos. And so once again, I single out Cgreene because he's one of the worst examples, and he has a huge following, and it's complete and total media manipulation. And but to go back to the big picture and not necessarily pick on Cgreene, it's this entire industry that I have a problem with. Because once again, when you have people like him, they are basically being inflammatory and histrionic in order to build a huge audience and fill people's heads with more ignorance and nonsense. This is hardly helping our efforts to challenge the state, to bring back liberty and sound money, and to investigate corruption and fraud around the globe. And I just feel it necessary to call him out on it. I myself make a very, very strenuous efforts in order to cut through all the nonsense coming from the left, the right, the mainstream, and the alternative. And Cgreene is the epitome of bullshit coming from the alternative industry. But we shouldn't be surprised from this. There's going to be opportunists, charlatans, and snake oil salesmen in every noble effort. Look at all the people who go out and sell swag and T-shirts and buttons and commemorative gear for the Occupy movement in order to cash in on it. So this kind of cynical opportunism is pretty rampant. Gary Franke at Restore the Public is another example. He started a Revolution PAC to support Ron Paul during the last election, and of course ended up spending most of the money on himself and his friends. And that's just the way it works. So as I brought up before about the so-called alternative industry, the patriot industry, the liberty industry, the Tea Party industry, the Obama bashing industry, the economic global collapse is 3 days from now industry, the World War III nuclear holocaust industry, and all the other fear-mongering out there. Certainly the world out there is not a pretty picture, and Obama, like all presidents, is a very dangerous man. But we need to keep a level head and sift through all the cognitive dissonance to find out what the real issues are and what things need to be addressed so that perhaps we can construct a better world. But the likes of Cgreene are actually on the other side. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.